Hello. Welcome back to Let's Talk Ray Bradbury. If you've not subscribed to our channel, please do. Here on Let's Talk Ray Bradbury, I am currently working through the Stories of Ray Bradbury collection. We are up to tale number 53 of 100, which is The Wonderful Ice Cream Suit from 1958. Synopsis: one hot summer evening at dusk, three young Mexican-American men are hanging out outside of the pool hall. There's a girl across the street in the upper window, Martinez. He waves at her. She seems to ignore him. A little bit later, Martinez sees a guy walk by with a woman on either shoulder, and he sort of laments that he has no friends, that he's poor, and that if he only looked better, he could do something about it. Bring in Gomez. He pulls out a tape measure. He starts measuring everybody, and he stumbles upon the fact that all three of these men are the same body size. And after recruiting three other men, they all pool their money, and the six of them buy a $40 suit. The group is Manuel, Dominguez, Villanzul, Gomez, Martinez, and Vamanos. They go to Shumway's suit shop, and they buy a how do they describe it? A summer suit. It's a white suit, an ice cream suit, if you will. The shopkeeper hesitates to sell one suit to six people because it seems to be bad for business. But Leo, his assistant, says, hey, look how much joy this one crappy suit is going to give these six people. Sell it to them anyway. So he does, and even throws in a free mannequin to boot. So they take it home. They decide that we're gonna divide it up. Each person gets a day of the week, and then on the seventh day we'll switch it up. We'll draw straws for it, whatever. But for tonight, everybody's gonna get a half hour. So they each get their own half hour, and they go out and they have very good results. The one guy wanted to sort of hobnob with businessmen and sort of gain the ability to become rich, and he does so. Another one, most importantly, Martinez, he walks around the block, and the final time around the block, finally, the girl in the window seems to notice him and they wave, and he's very, very thrilled about this. But the last person comes along, that is Vamanos. It is his turn. He takes the suit out, he goes to a club, he breaks all of the rules that they've set forth how to treat the suit. He drinks, he smokes cigars, he eats a sloppy taco, and he has another man's fat, makeup-caked girlfriend sit on his lap. The others, fearing what's going to happen, they go out and they intervene. The one guy's like, hit me instead of him. Don't hit the suit. And finally, they have to knock the woman's boyfriend out with a chair over the head and then rush out into the street to get away from the action. That is when Vamanos realizes that he still has a couple minutes left on his time, so he steps off the curb only to be struck by a vehicle. He's okay, but there's an ambulance coming, and as it does, he fears that these ruthless surgeons, not caring at all for their suit, will want to cut it off him, so he basically forces them to strip him down to his underwear on the street, which they do. And then they walk home back to Gomez's apartment where they'd staged this whole thing. On the way, the girl in the window picks up her glasses, puts them on, and waves to him. It seems that she's noticed him all the while, and it wasn't the suit. She saw 5 other men walk by in suits that evening, but she always hid her glasses. But tonight she was reading a book, and even without the glasses, she recognized Martinez's wonderful, big, white, brilliant smile shining above the suit itself. And this makes Martinez feel pretty good about himself. But they go up to the roof of Gomez's building. They put the mannequin back on its suit, get it all cleaned up. It's all perfect, waiting to go for the next time. And Martinez realizes that he'd started the night worrying that he had no friends, but now he realizes that he has at least 5 friends. And he laments a time when, if they become rich, they won't need the suit and they won't have a reason to hang out with each other like they did on this one very interesting evening in the city. Yeah, it is a full-blown comedy, not a hint of speculative fiction. I think people forget that among the hundreds of stories that Bradbury wrote is a great wealth of stuff that is not sci-fi. It's not speculative fiction in any sense of the word. It's not horror. It's just plain regular fiction, I guess you would say. And this one is certainly a comedy. It's amusing every step of the way. I'm thinking a little bit like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, which I watched the movie. The movie wasn't bad. No, I have not read the book. It kind of reminds me of that vibe. The white suit that they're also thrilled about sounds absolutely god-awful to me. But you've seen this type of suit in the movies from the era, also period pieces of the era. Think about the villains in Indiana Jones, for example. I sort of reminded of that sort of thing. Also, the whole thing, although these are Mexican Americans and not Puerto Rican Americans, very much reminds me a little bit of like West Side Story. And I almost imagined at any point they would start singing and dancing in the streets. I think that would have been cool. Maybe they could do a musical version of this. But, really, in the end, I'm always looking for the message, the point of any story. Bradbury stories always have some sort of message. And this one is about, first and foremost, friendship. A person who thought that they were down on their luck, in fact, had a lot of friends. And I guess the saying goes is that if you have friends and family, you're rich. And that's certainly the case with this. But also, I think there's a thing here about confidence and how, for some people, clothing can be a source of confidence, and for all of these men, it was. I can't relate to that personally because I've never given a damn about fashion or about fitting in. I've always been a jeans and t-shirt type of person, and maybe if I was wearing the latest fashions, it would have gotten me ahead in some aspects of life, but it certainly didn't hold me back. All my friends were sort of the same, and so I don't relate to sort of dressing up and trying to impress people with my clothing, but I see where that is a thing. And even to this day, there's like charity groups that provide low cost or free new and used suits and dresses to low income and even homeless people who are trying to get back into the world, and they provide them for your job interviews and things like that. So this is a real thing that Bradbury sort of channeled or predicted, I guess I would say. So maybe there is a little bit of speculative fiction here involved, but on the whole, among Bradbury's canon, a little bit forgettable. But definitely worth your time. The 30 minutes or so it's going to take you to read this story. And so for that reason, like all the other ones, I'm going to recommend it. Definitely want to check out this tale. So yeah, we'll be moving on to the next tale in a couple of days. That is Dark They Were and Golden Eyed. That tale was from, let me look it up here, from 1949. So going back to 1949 again. About a decade before this story, but tune in a couple days and we will discuss that here on Let's Talk Ray Bradbury. See you later.